Like most other races of Tamriel, the Nords of Skyrim were not always here. Rather, they migrated to northern Tamriel from a continent to the north called Atmora. And when they started colonising the north of Tamriel, they soon discovered that there were already locals that lived there, and this soon provides problems for them. Why did they leave their native land of Atmora? And why did they have problems with the locals of Tamriel? In fact, who were these natives that they had problems with? Well, that is what we shall discuss in today's video. As mentioned before the Merethic era, the Nords originated from Atmora, and at the time referred to themselves as Atmorans. Then, some point during the Merethic era, Atmora had a huge and bloody civil war in which almost no one was safe. Then Ysgramor, you may have heard of him, decided to sail away from Atmora to find a new land to escape the bloodshed. He gathered all those who would follow him and sailed south. They eventually landed at Hisarek Head, which is where Winterhold is located today, and that is where they started colonising Skyrim. And this is also when they discovered the indigenous population of Snow Elves. Also, just to mention this, many people believe that the Atmorans, that were led by Ysgramor, were the first ever humans to set foot in Tamriel. That is not actually entirely true, despite popular belief, because when Ysgramor and his colonists arrived in Tamriel, there were already indigenous humans there. What the truth is that the Atmorans that colonised Skyrim were the first humans that all modern-day human races can trace their lineage back, because all the other human races were wiped out long ago. So to say that the Atmorans were the first ever humans in Tamriel is not entirely true, but is also not entirely false. But continuing from the Snow Elves and the Atmorans meeting, during the first time of colonisation, the colonists and the Snow Elves got along well together. They would both stay out of each other's business, and all was well, until eventually the Snow Elves felt threatened because humans were breeding and multiplying way faster than the elves. Out of fear of being outnumbered by the humans, they massacred the town of Sarthol, which was at the time the only place populated by humans, and they killed all the inhabitants except for Ysgramor and his two sons Yingol and Yigla, and possibly also a few other survivors. This became known as the Night of Tears. After this, Ysgramor and his sons went back to Atmora and told all the Atmorans what had happened, and by then the civil war had either ended or had died down. So to avenge their fellow Atmorans, Ysgramor created the army known as the 500, which is, as you know, the predecessors of the Companions. After creating the 500 warriors, Ysgramor and his army returned to Skyrim, where they expand across Skyrim, mercilessly razing Snow Elf settlements and massacring all the ones they can get, similar to what the Snow Elves tried to do at Sarthol. Some of the Snow Elves did manage to escape, and after they escaped, they ran to safety to the Dwemer strongholds, looking to them for safety. The Dwemer agreed to look after them, except something happened to the Snow Elves after they were under the care of the Dwemer, but that is something I'll talk about in another video. After this merciless war between the 500 and all the Snow Elf settlements, Skyrim was now solely the land of the Atmorans, which we now call the Nords. And that is the history of how the Nords came to Skyrim. But before you leave, please tell me in the comments section, who do you think was more in the right, the Snow Elves or the Atmorans? I'm quite curious on what you think. Personally, I would say the Atmorans, because in my opinion, the Snow Elves struck first. Yes, the Atmorans did come onto their land. However, the Atmorans were planning on just minding their own business and letting the Snow Elves do the same. However, the Snow Elves wouldn't have that and attacked the Atmorans. And that is why I personally think the Atmorans are more in the right than the Snow Elves were. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm quite curious. And that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya!